Okay, ma'am, start.
So students, today we will learn about some basic ideas of digital logic gates. Okay, so basically these logic gates we can categorize them in three. The first category is basic gates. Under basic gates we have AND or NOT gate. Fine. Now the next category is universal gate. Under universal gate we have NAND NOR gate, and the third category is exclusive gates. Under this we have XOR gate and XNOR gate. Okay. Now this basically binary logic. Okay, so binary means two. So binary logic means that have either value 0 or 1. Okay. Now the operation, the logic operations which we observe in this class will be AND or NOT, NAND, NOR, XOR, XNOR. Okay. Now the binary or logic values, that is input or output, we can have names as A, B, C, or maybe X, Y, Z. Okay, so that means A and B will be your input, C output. Same way X or Y will be your input and Z will be your output. In this way we will refer. Okay. Now the first, that is the basic logic gates. Now we will start with this one, obviously basic operations first. So we have three categories: AND or NOT. So AND means basically A and B. Suppose C is the output, so this is A dot B. See on the screen, function of A comma B is equals to A dot B. So how it works? A dot B means suppose both A and B observe the value 0, so the output will be 0. If A is 0, B is 1, then again output 0. If A is 1, B is 0, then again output 0. And only when both A and B observe the value 1, then we will find the output 1. Now the next one, that is OR gate. In case of OR gate, we observe it as A plus B. Okay, so as it is A plus B, so that means A or B. So when we have both A and B in 0, then only we will find the output as 0. Otherwise, if one of them, that means is 1, if one of A and B if 1, then we will have the output 1, and if both A and B are 1, then obviously we will receive the output 1. And the third one is NOT gate. Now previously, see, for and OR gate we are actually having two input, A and B. But for NOT gate we have one input. Okay, one input, one output, and it has been said as complement. Okay, so if we refer the input as A, the output we will refer as complement of A. Sometimes we refer it as A bar. Okay, so that means if the input A is equals to 0, we will receive the output as 1, and if the input A is equals to 1, we will receive the output as 0, complement of it, complement function. Okay. Now this is the truth table. So truth table both for AND and OR gate, which I have previously told you, that two input, one output, and NOT gate, one input. And you can see the truth table. This formation is called truth table. We see both input and output. Now over here I need to mention a thing is it's a binary logic. Fine. So if we have two inputs, A and B, so how many combinations we can form? 2 to the power 2. 2 is the base as binary, and how many inputs we have? 2. So 2 to the power 2 is equals to 4. So that's why, see, we have 4 combinations: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Now suppose instead of 2 input, if I have a gate or circuit where it has 3 inputs, so then how many combinations we can form? The base is 2, and how many input lines we have? 3. So 2 to the power 3 is equals to 8. Okay, in this way the input combination will work. That is the relationship in between the input and how many combinations we can form from any n number of inputs. So is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next
Yes,
thing,
ma'am.
yeah. So the next thing we will have over here are the symbol. Okay, so on the last slide we have discussed about the truth table. Now these are the basic symbols. Now why we need the symbol? So whenever we form any circuit, we use this symbol as first AND gate, the next symbol is for OR gate, and the third symbol is for NOT gate. Okay, so that means suppose one circuit has only AND gate and NOT gate, so we will use only the first symbol and the last symbol. Okay, suppose another circuit have only AND gate and OR gate, so we will use first two symbols. So this is the purpose of having symbols for individual gate, to represent them in a circuit. Okay, in a circuit diagram. So the first symbol is for AND gate, the next symbol is for OR gate, and the third symbol is for NOT gate. Sometimes NOT gate, we refer it as inverter. Okay, and this is a triangle, and above the triangle we have a bubble. Okay, so basically the bubble denotes inverter. Bubble means it's an inverter. That means somehow we have to do the complement operation. And what is complement operation? Whatever we have, we will just do the complement of it. That means if we have 0, after complement operation, it will become 1, and vice versa. Fine. Now this timing diagram, now when we do a hardware lab, we never observe this timing diagram as output. Okay, but just for the sake of denotation, I want to mention this, that in case of digital logic, 1 will be represented as high state and 0 will be represented as low state. Okay, so that's why observe the curve. When we have 1, it's a high state, and when we have a 0, it's a low state. Okay, now A and B, we have denoted them as input signals. Now output, we have F, G and H. F for AND gate, G for OR gate, and H for complement. Okay, now see the first one, that is for the first combination, A is high but B is low. Fine. So that means what combination we have? 1, 0. So if the inputs are 1, 0, for AND gate, it will receive 0 value. That's why the line is low. In case of OR gate, it will receive 1. That's why the line is high. Now for NOT gate, here it takes the input of A. So as the input of A is 1, so complement of 1 will be 0. That's why the line is low. Okay, in that way the timing diagram goes on. Okay, so that means based on the input value, we will receive the output value. Now if input or output, whatever line it is, if it has the value 1, it will be on high state, and if it has the value 0, it will be on low state. Fine. Now the timing diagram. So when we can see the timing diagram? In the next semester, when we have the software lab, that means if we represent it in any computation language, then we can see this timing diagram. Fine. Now the next thing is we have a circuit, combinational circuit. So see, in this circuit we have all 3 gates. First we have NOT gate, 3 NOT gates, then we have 2 AND gates, and lastly we have 1 OR gate. Okay, so so see, using the symbols we have formed a circuit, and this kind of circuit is called combinational circuit. Fine.
Ma'am, what is combinational circuit?
So basically circuits can be of 2 types. Okay, sequential circuit and combinational circuit. Now first, before combinational circuit, I want to mention sequential circuit. So sequential circuit is basically those circuit whose present output will be dependent on present input as well as previous input, whereas in combinational circuit, the output of present output is depend on only on the present inputs, not in any previous inputs. Okay, so this is your combination circuit.
Ma'am, can you give an example of sequential circuit?
Yeah, sequential circuit. So basic formation or basic building block of sequential circuit will be always flip-flops. Okay, in flip-flop we have a memory device or we have a clock where we can store any previous values what we needed. Fine. Whereas in combinational circuit, the basic building block of any combinational circuit will be basic gates. Fine. Now in combinational circuit, there is no scope for any clock. It's time independent. Okay. As we are not storing any previous value, we just need the present input values, and based on the present input values, we can have the output. Okay. So in combinational circuit, we never have any, time or clock period, clock cycle. So we can say that combinational circuit is time independent cycle and circuit. And example of combinational circuit, very commonly multiplexer, demultiplexer, encoder, decoder. These are the examples of combinational circuit. Okay. Now for the basic gates, lastly we have the pin configuration. Now as it's come lastly, but it's the most important thing when we do it in the lab. Okay, so basically at the end we have a demo of this, but basically right now just look carefully to each chip configuration or pin configuration. Now the first one is IC7432. It's basically pin configuration for OR gate. Okay, so OR gate's pin number is 7432. Next we have IC7404. Okay, IC stands for integrated circuit. So now this IC7408, so this circuit stands for AND gate. And the lastly we have IC7404, it's for NOT gate. And see, inside of each chip configuration, you have the symbol of gate. The first one we have OR gate, then we have AND gate, and lastly we have NOT gate. Fine. So now if we start counting, if you count it for each 3208 and 04, we have altogether 14 pins or 14 legs. Okay, one side of the chip you have 7 pins, and on the other side of the chip again you have 7 pins, altogether 14 pins. Okay, now look carefully to each of the chip configuration. On the left hand side you have a notch, or you have a half circle thing. Can you see it? So this half circle thing is basically denotion that how you have to place it. So when you have to place the chip in the breadboard, you have to keep this notch always on your left hand side. Okay, that's the right position to place a chip in the breadboard. Okay, that's why they have this notch. Okay, now see, for each of these three, pin number 7 and 14 are denoted as ground and VCC. Fine. Ground, that will be always meant as 0, and VCC will be always meant for positive values. In this lab case, that will be always plus 5 volt. Fine. So that means 7 pin number we have to connect it with ground, and 14 pin number we have to connect with VCC. Fine. Now I will first talk about the
Ma'am, I have a question. Every chip
sure.
has 14 legs only.
No. Today, for today's class, whatever chip we will discuss, these chips have 14 legs. But later on, just like multiplexer, demultiplexer, I have told you earlier, example of combination circuit, encoder, decoder, all these have 16 legs. Fine, 16 legs, and in between 16 legs we will have the input, output, ground, VCC, and some other lines also. Fine.
That's why every
so
chip has even number of legs.
always, because we have two parts, lower part and other part, above part. So any chip number in one side, that will be multiplied by 2, and it will obviously become a even number. Okay, so it will be either 14, 16, or in that way. So now I will discuss the first two very quickly, that is 32 and 08, OR and AND. So look at the chip configuration carefully. Pin number 1, 2 input, 3 output, 4, 5 input, 6 output, 9 and 10 input, 8 output, 12 and 13 input, 11 output. Fine. Same for 08 also. But in case of 04, as it's a single input and single output line, so we have 1 as input, 2 as output, 3 as input, 4 as output, 5 as input, 6 as output. Now 9 as input, 8 as output, 11 as input, 10 as output, and 13 as input, 12 as output. Fine. So from the chip configuration, we can say that for pin number 0, 8 and 3, 2, we have 4 combinations of AND and OR gate. But in case of NOT, that is 0, 4, we have 6 combination of NOT gate. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that means so that means suppose I have a circuit, and in that circuit I want to refer the previous circuit, this one only. So for this circuit, see, I have 3 NOT gate, 2 AND gate, and 1 OR gate. So 3 NOT gate, that means only 1 NOT chip is enough. Then 2 AND gate, again 1 AND chip is enough, and 1 OR gate, so 1 OR chip is enough. So using 3 chips, we can form this circuit. Now suppose in any circuit, you have 6 number of AND gate. Okay, in that case, instead of 1 chip, you need 2 chip. Okay, because 6 means 4 plus 2, that means 1 chip can sufficient for 4 gates, but not more than that. So whenever we cross that 4 combinations, we need another 1 chip. Okay, in this way we will go on to prepare one circuit. Now next we will discuss, so the previous part is the end of basic gates. Okay, the general idea of basic gates. Now we will talk about universal gate. So NAND and NOR will be called as universal gate, as from NAND and NOR we can form any other basic gates. That means AND or NOT, these gates we can calculate or form from NAND and NOT. So that's why these 2 gates will be termed as universal gate. Fine. Now before going to the next slide, I need to tell you something. So NAND means basically not of and NOR means basically not of OR. Okay, so can you tell me, or can you calculate the truth table for NAND and NOR? NAND means not of and NOR means not of OR. Okay, so previously we have discussed about and OR truth table. So now can you tell me what will be the truth table for NAND gate and NOR gate?
Ma'am, it will be the complement of the truth table of and OR gate.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have a NOT gate before and OR, so that means it's a complement, or it will invert whatever output we will receive. So we will check the output now. See, if you notice, the symbol is basically, the first symbol is for NAND, and I have told you that the bubble is basically represent the invert sign. Okay, so first we have a OR AND gate, the symbol of AND gate, and with a bubble it will become NAND gate. Second one, it's a OR gate with a bubble, so it will become NOR gate. And just observe the truth table. So the NAND truth table, see, it's just opposite of AND gate, complement of AND gate. So in case of AND gate, only 1 1 will have 1, remaining all 0. Over here, see, only 1 1 has 0, remaining all other 1. Same for NOR gate. In case of NOR, only 0 0 has 0, remaining all 3 combination have 1. But as it's a complement NOR gate, so that's why 0 0 has 1, and remaining all other combinations has 0. Fine. Now what I have told you, that from NAND gate and NOR gate we can implement any other basic gates, that is NOT, and OR, and this is the diagram for these 3. Okay, so the first diagram, NAND to NOT, the second diagram, NAND to AND, and the third diagram is, yes.
Ma'am, I had a question, ma'am. Where do we use these universal gates? Like, what is the real life application of these universal gates?
Yeah, so suppose we have a Boolean function, or we have any function, and we have to use only one gate. In that case, NAND gate is the thing. Okay, suppose just refer the previous diagram, this one. Okay, So what I have mentioned, that from NAND gate we can implement NOT gate, we can implement AND gate, and we can implement OR gate. Fine. So that means in this particular circuit, it's a Boolean function basically, which we have represented as a circuit. So for this circuit, we have used 3 different gates. But if we can use universal gates, so only one gate is sufficient, either NAND or NOT. Okay, so that's the application, that if we have to use only single gate, if we are allowed to use only single gate to implement any Boolean function, then always we need universal gate. Okay, so see where we are, that is, yeah. So how we can get, so first one is the NOT gate, C, X to X bar. Second one is AND gate, X, Y are your inputs and X dot Y is your output. And the third one, again, X, Y are your inputs and X plus Y is your output. Now, can you tell me what we have done over here? What theorem we have used?
De Morgan's theorem.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so using De Morgan's theorem or De Morgan's law, we have implemented this. Okay, so hence we can prove that from NAND is universal, as from NAND we can form NOT, and OR. Fine. Same way from NOR also we can form NOT and an OR. I want you to try that. Can you find out how from NOR we can find out NOT, or maybe OR, or maybe AND? Just give it a try, because NOR is also a universal gate, and as the property of universal gate suggests that from this gate we can implement any of the basic gates. So these 3 are over here. So from this diagram, can you get an idea that how NOR gate can be act as either NOT gate or AND gate or OR gate?
Ma'am, the last 2 diagrams, if we replace the NAND using NOR, we will get the separate gates. I mean, AND and OR, we will get both using the same De Morgan's theorem. Like for the third diagram here, if we use the NOR gate, then we will get AND. And for the second diagram, if we use NOR, then we will get OR.
And the first diagram will remain same, just we have to put the symbol of NOR gate. Absolutely correct. Okay, so this is, so first NOR gate as inverter, C, same diagram, just we have replaced the AND gate with NAND gate with a NOR gate. Fine. This is NOR gate as OR gate. So this is for AND gate, and over here it will become the OR gate. Just we have replaced the symbol of the gates, and this is your AND gate from NOR gate. Okay. And this is again the pin configuration. Here the pin numbers are for NAND it is IC 7400, and for NOR it is IC 7402. Okay. Now for NAND, I don't have anything extra to say. It's the pin configuration. The use of the pin configuration will be as same as the previous AND and OR gate. I will talk about the 0 to 1, that means the NOR one. Okay, see, in case of NOR gate, this is the only case where you have first the output, next the inputs. Okay, just see, 1 we have used at output, 2 and 3 as input, 4 as output, 5 and 6 as input. Same way, 10 as output, 8, 9 input, and 13 is output, and 11, 12 are input. Okay, so it's just opposite. Previously, what we have seen, always first the input line comes, then the output. But in case of NOR gate, first we will observe the output line, and then we will receive the input line. Then we will have the input lines. Okay. Now this is next we have exclusive gates. So exclusive gates means basically we have in under exclusive gates we have 2 types, XOR and XNOR. Okay, so XOR is basically we have suppose A and B are your inputs, so XOR is basically is equals to A bar B plus A B bar. Okay, and what is XNOR? XNOR is basically the complement of XOR operation. That means whatever truth table we will receive in XOR gate, just complement of that truth table we will receive in XNOR gate. Okay, so I have told you that XOR, suppose X and Y are your input lines and Z equals to output line. So Z equals to X bar Y plus X Y bar. Okay, so can you tell me what truth table, how does the truth table looks like? That means for 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, what output line we will receive for XOR gate?
Ma'am, for opposite input value, we will get output as 1, and for same input value, we will get 0.
Absolutely. So that means XNOR will be just opposite or complement of it, isn't it? So that means for XNOR, when we have the input lines in similar, we will receive 1, and when we will have the input lines dissimilar, then we will receive 0. Now see, so this is your XOR and XNOR, and this is the symbol of XOR, plus with a circle. Okay, so XOR gate. So and after XOR gate we have XNOR gate with a bubble. Bubble is the symbol of inverter. So we have this, and this is the truth table, just what you have said, that for 0, 0, 1, 1 it will be 0, and for either 0, 1 or 1, 0 it will be 1, and just complement of it will be your XNOR. Okay, and this is the pin configuration.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, what is the application of exclusive gate?
Yeah, exclusive gate. So where we can use the exclusive gates? When we have any arithmetic operation. Okay, so in simple words, when we have computer organization, we always do addition. Okay, though we have addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, this 4 arithmetic operation, but hardware wise we always do addition, we never do subtraction. Okay, so instead of subtraction, what we will do, so that means suppose we have A plus B, Z equals to, or C equals to A plus B. Okay, it's fine. Now suppose we have C equals to A minus B. So in CO, in computer organization, instead of A minus B, we will write A plus B bar plus 1. Now for doing that B bar plus 1 or complementing, we need this exclusive gates. Okay. Now we have, yeah. So we have now pin configuration of these two gates, 86 for XOR gate and 266 for XNOR gate. Okay, so I will talk about first the XOR gate. So in case of XOR gate 86, see, it's as same as AND, OR and NAND gate. Okay, first 2 input, then 1 output, then again 2 input, 1 output, 8 is the output, then 2 input, then again 11 is the output, and 12 and 13 are the input. Now see the XNOR one, that is 2661. Okay, so 2661. So for this one 266, what we have, first 1, 2 as input, 3 as output, but we have a face off, 4 as output and 5, 6 as input. Okay. On the other side, we have 8, 9 as input and 10 as output, and again one face off, 11 as output and 12, 13 as input. Okay, so that means we have to basically remember 4 different types of pin configuration. Similar types: 08, 32, 00 and 86, 04, that is NOT gate, is different, and 04 is different, then 02 NOR gate is different, then this one 266, this is different, but in all cases 7 and 14 will remain as ground and VCC. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes.
yeah, so quickly what we will do, we will tell you about just one what do I say, just one implementation of digital trainer kit. Okay, so this is a digital trainer kit. That means this is the only hardware lab we have. Okay, and this is a digital trainer kit. The white portion is called basically the breadboard where we have to place the chip and where we have to connect the wires to each of the pin or chip line. Fine. We have input line. See, it's written logic inputs, and on the other side we have logic outputs. Okay, and we have line for ground and VCC. It's written on black knob, it's GND, and on red knob it's plus 5 volt. Okay, and how it works? So basically we have this kind of kit, digital trainer kit. See, this is your ground, this is your VCC, these are your input lines, logic inputs, and on the other side these are your output lines. Okay, now we have to place one chip, and I have told you the notch will be placed always on the left hand side. So this is the way we have to place a chip. Now this is a 14 leg chip. Fine. So what we will do, first we will connect the ground and VCC. So from ground, one wire we will take and we will connect to pin number 7. Another one from VCC, we will take one wire and we will connect it to pin number 14. So ground and VCC connected. Now we will consider that 1, 2, 3 combination as input and output. So from input line, we will connect two wire to pin number 1 and pin number 2. Okay, so what we will do, so this is basically the AND gate, the configuration of AND gate, 1, 2 as input and 3 output. So what we will do, we will consider pin number 1 and pin number 2, and we will connect two wires from each 1 and 2, and we will connect to any one of the input lines. Right? From one input line, and from 2 pin number another one input line. So inputs are connected, ground, VCC connected. So we have left with the output. So from pin number 3 we will connect one wire, and we will we will have connected it to any one of the output line. Okay, and now we will turn on the kit. So I think this output line has some so for 1 1, as it's an AND gate, so we should receive 1, but it's not coming. I think the output port is not working properly. Yes. Okay. So see, as the LED is on, so that means high state. So whenever the LED is on, that means the input is 1. Whenever the LED is off, that means the input is 0. Same for the output. If the output LED is on, that means we are receiving 1 output, and if the output LED is off, that means we are receiving 0 output. As we are using AND gate, so both the input LEDs are on, that means we are observing the value of 1 1. The truth table of AND gate said that if both the inputs are 1 1, then we should receive 1 as output. So that's why we have received 1 as output. Now here both the inputs are 0. So if both the inputs are 0, we always receive the output as 0. Okay, and over here you have to remember one more thing, that 1 2 3 it's basically what should I say, 1 2 3 is basically one group. So that means if I have connected 1 2 as input, we always consider 3 as output, not 6. Okay, and again whenever we want to observe output line from 6, we have to consider 4 5 as input, not 1 2. Okay, so this is the brief description of the digital logic gates. And okay, so do you have any more questions? Okay, so then thank you, students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.